In this video, I'm going to be doing a review of the Samsung Galaxy A56 5G. And guess what? This smartphone is being touted as Samsung's flagship mid-range smartphone for 2025. I'm going to be giving you the breakdown on the phone, the specs, and overall what I think about it to the end of the video. And if I think it is a good buy, something that you should go out and get if it is that you're seeking a mid-range smartphone from Samsung. All right, so let's jump right into it. This is the box that the phone came in. Very much minimalistic. Didn't come with a charger, as most how most phones are shipped nowadays. So if you don't have a charger, you need to purchase one. The phone, I think, it has a bit of a weight. It's 198 grams, but to me it feels a little bit weighty. The front and the back glass is actually Gorilla glass, and if you look around the sides, it has this aluminum finish, which I think looks pretty much premium. If you look at the back here, it has 3 cameras and they are raised, so this is somewhat like the Samsung Galaxy S series, how those phone cameras are raised. So overall, you have a bit, as I mentioned before, of this premium finish. I think, the aesthetics here, pretty clean. And yes, it does have that premium look and feel to it. The screen is 120 Hertz. And guess what? The brightness, it's very bright. So this screen is so bright that if you are looking at it in the dark, it's going to hurt your eyes. So it has a 1900 nits screen. The plus side though is that if you're looking at this if you're outside, it's daylight, you're outside in the sun, you're looking at it, it's going to be perfect. But looking at it in the dark, no. It has a 6.7 inch screen and the resolution is 1080 by 2300. It runs Android 15, One UI. And I believe you get like a 5-year upgrade with this. Now, looking at the phone, at the base here, you have that tray for the SIM card. That's the charging port there. You have the speakers. And I must say that the speaker is very loud. Not only loud, but it is also premium. This is one of the high point, I think, of the phone. Right? Really premium quality sound. At the right side, we have the power button and the volume controls there. One of the things too about the Samsung Galaxy A56 is that the storage is not upgradable. There is no slot for a memory card. One of the things that I like about it is that the fingerprint reader is very fast. Overall, I think the performance is pretty good. It has an Exynos 1580 chipset and it handles, a lot of tasks really on the fly. Now, the Samsung Galaxy A56, they come in different variations. So we have the 128 gig storage with 6 gigs RAM, 128 gig storage with 8 gigs RAM, 256 with 8 gigs RAM, 256 with 12 gig RAM. Now for the selfie camera, it's 12 megapixels. And guess what? For the tri camera, the main camera is 15 megapixels. Then there's a 12 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel camera. And guess what? This also shoots, up to 4K. I think though that Samsung could have improved on the camera. When you zoom, you actually get, quite a bit of pixelation when you zoom to a distance. So, that is one of the low points, I think, of the phone. It does have a 5000 milliamp battery, and for the most part, yeah, this is such that it will serve you over into the next day, of course, based on the use to which you are putting the phone. It also has an IP67 rating, so this is dust and water resistant. Now, a couple of things that I like about the Samsung Galaxy A56 5G is the speed. I think the processor is pretty much decent for being a mid-range smartphone. I also like the fingerprint reader. So it has on the display fingerprint reader, very fast. Another thing that I like is the sound quality. So the speakers, I tell you, really premium quality. Another thing is that it has built-in AI. Yeah, man. So that's really a plus there for the Samsung Galaxy A56. Now, on the downside, I think perhaps the one of the significant thing for me that I think Samsung could do a better job of is where the camera is concerned, the triple camera setup. Now, the back camera, triple camera setup, as I mentioned before. So the main camera being 50 megapixels, and when you zoom, I mean, the video quality, zoom in, or when you take pictures, it's not the best. I would have seen, better image qualities from Samsung, even in their mid-range lineup. All right, so I think they could do a better job there. Now, overall, I think it's a really good phone. I think the price range is, fairly good. So if you check it out on Amazon, and I'm going to be putting a link on Amazon, so if you wish to get it, you can purchase it there. On Amazon, it runs for roughly somewhere about $370 to $380, $180 US. All right, so that is my take on the smartphone. As I said, I think it's pretty much decent, except for the camera. I think the camera, Samsung could have done a better job where the camera is concerned, the back camera is concerned. All right. Yes, if it is that you are shopping around for a smartphone, perhaps a back to school, and you want something which is mid-range, something not too pricey, then I would definitely recommend that you check out this phone, the Samsung Galaxy A56 5G. And I would, of course, would have done reviews, comparisons with other mid-range smartphones from other, their competitors, and this one did come out on top. All right, so that's it for me. Before you go, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, and see you again in the next video. Take care.